What is going on, everybody? It's Tuesday, February 2nd, 7:45 a.m. My name is Amal. I'm here to do your morning crypto analysis. Just want to share with you guys some of the gains reviews that we had in January. We had a kick-ass month with a lot of new members that joined. I am incredibly happy that our community is growing at such a rapid pace. We still have room for more people. If y'all want to join, you can go to our website right here, thealphatrades.com. You can hit the products page and then you can buy our Advantage subscription. It's currently $97 per month. I will explain in a second exactly what the $97 per month gets you. But first thing I want to explain to y'all is we started a $5,000 challenge at the end of December. So let's just say, beginning of January. And we pretty much ended the month of January with a final balance of 10,000. So 100% gain is what we got. All right. And this video is actually available free on YouTube. And you could see exactly how we traded, throughout the month, my strategies, and then going into February, what my strategies are. Lots of important information. You can check it out. Okay. So if you haven't quite heard about our Advantage membership, first of all, welcome to watching these videos, right? If you're new, I'm sure a lot of you who are on YouTube watching these videos have been watching them for a while. Please do hit the thumbs up. It does help support our channel. It helps support our community, and it gets to reach out to other people who may be interested in more in-depth analysis from our community. So first things first, this is where our community resides. It is on Discord. Discord is a platform where we communicate pretty much everything, right? We communicate things from our Advantage announcements, which are videos that we make on a day-to-day basis. We make these 2 a day. Okay, so 2 videos a day for our Advantage members who are paid members. Once again, you can get that payment paid on our Advantage member subscription on our website for $97 per month. And so in the Advantage announcements, I generally post all the things regarding, important updates, regarding the crypto market. Okay. And I post them here in video format, sometimes on YouTube and sometimes on private Zoom links. Okay. And then aside from that, we have video minutes, which are written by Bradley, who is our writer. And he will summarize the video just in case you don't have a chance to watch the entire video. And he'll summarize the video in these snippet points. And then aside from that, we have position updates, which are all my spot and long and short, all kinds of positions in here. And this is a summary of that. Education section is, of course, education. User requested TA is whoever wants to know, specific technical analysis for a particular chart or particular asset. I'll do that. 5K count is our challenge, which I just showed y'all right here. This challenge resides primarily on YouTube, but this is a private playlist with private videos, and only my Advantage members in this community have access to it. Okay. And then we have Bitcoin trading, which is, of course, all things related to Bitcoin, whether I'm in a long or short, what Bitcoin analysis I have regarding, BTC price action, everything associated with that. And then traditional altcoin analysis, which is all things related to things like ETH and LTC and Bcash and whatnot and XRP. And then DeFi trading is a very hot and heavy subject. We spend a lot of time in the DeFi area because DeFi is a huge space, right? It is very growing and rapidly growing at that. And we like to pay a lot of attention to a lot of DeFi coins. So we put out a lot of DeFi analysis. We even took out a scalp trade on Sushi the other day. Got in and out of 8% profit, very quick, very easy, very surgical, right? Sometimes that's what you need in scalp trades, to be very surgical. But more often than not, what we focus on in our community is the longer time frame trades. Okay, what are the trades that are going to yield great P&L, or great profit rather, for the next several weeks or the next several months? And that is posted in the spot buy section or the leverage, long or short sections. Again, I'm not here to show you guys any financial advice. This is me simply just doing my analysis of how I take the trade. And you can, of course, look at this analysis and use this for your own good or bad. All right. So this is our community, folks. Lots of great information if you are interested in crypto. And of course, we have the equity side as well. We keep this relatively busy, but not as busy as our as the crypto side. Okay. So let's get to the analysis, right? What do we have? What's going on in crypto, especially Bitcoin? And what can we surmise from the movements that we have um, over the last several days? Okay, so I think the easiest way to sort of look at this movement right here is, first of all, you could divide this up in a range. Okay, I would say this is a clean range that's developed. All right. And inside that, maybe you can even make the argument that there's a um, mini low that was defended right here. And once we started breaking above that, that was actually a good sign, and we started to push higher. Okay. So now the question is, right, where to from here? Okay. So for that, we have to zoom out to 4 hour, because the 4 hour chart actually shows you some important information, which is this is a 34,900 marker. So let's just say 35,000 flat. Very, very key SR level across the board. You can look all the way back going to beginning of January, all the way across the board, very, very key SR level. As you can see, even in this short squeeze right here, we're not able to close and hold above this area. We popped up and then flushed down really hard, right? And then after that, we rejected 35,000 multiple times. Once again, we are coming back to that same area, 35,000. I believe that that is the key marker that BTC is going to struggle with. And I don't think that most altcoins are going to be able to break out or start pushing out much higher unless BTC starts breaking out. And by most altcoins, I mean things like Litecoin or ETH. I don't know. I guess even some DeFi coins like Wi-Fi or Band or even Link, right? Some of these assets are actually directly correlated to the money flows of Bitcoin, which is the leader of the market. Now, of course, there's going to be many other altcoins that are going to do really well. For example, Uni over the last several days has been absolutely crushing it. Okay. Uni at times, right? Some of the DeFi coins have their own movement. They just do their own thing. Um, Maybe because they have smaller market caps, maybe because I don't know, they're a different part of the subsector of the market and they have the ability to move on their own. I really don't know. But what I do know is when it comes to the broad market decision making of where the market is going, I believe that Bitcoin dictates that. Okay. So if Bitcoin dictates that, we should be careful as Bitcoin is still right under resistance. Now, we've already hit this resistance multiple times right here. So chances are sooner or later it's going to break. But we don't really know if from here we don't have one more flush down and then start pushing up from here. Now, why do I talk about one more flush down? So there are certain areas in the market that have left some open-ended, stops just remaining right under. And the most visible to me are these two right here. Okay, so these two areas have a bunch of stops, a bunch of liquidity, just remaining right there. And if we just have one flush down, I would say that Bitcoin will have a much higher chance with lighter weight in terms of longs to start driving up to the upside. So I'm kind of still looking at this area as a potential, area of a flush to come down into. And say if we do come down here, that would be the most amazing long opportunity because your risk is defined. You can go long right here. You could place your stop under this previous low and you could ride your first target at least to 38,225 or this marker right here, these two highs, which is around 40,000. That would be my next target. Okay. So once again, I would take that trade as something like this. If it starts getting back up, my entry is probably somewhere over here. My first target is, over here. And my second target is these two highs. All right. But I also don't know if from here, the market just says, screw this liquidity void right here. Let's just start, ramping up and let everybody play catch up. I don't know. But what I do know is if you're patient enough in markets, more often than not, the technical voids that we have, liquidity voids, inefficiency voids, they get filled. I don't know why. That's just how it is. Well, I do know why, because crypto is a very technically driven market, right? It's also a small market cap enough to the point where the market can drive itself towards those points where cleanups can happen, right? Gaps get filled, inefficiencies do get filled, liquidity voids do get filled. Okay, so I believe that if we do come down here, not only will it be a good thing for Bitcoin, but it'll be the perfect risk reward trade from here, you know, from here, longing all the way to my first target right here, and then second target around 40K. Now, the daily also looks really interesting because anything can happen in this area. This may look like, things are going to pop up for sure, but remember, the market has a very, very unique way of trapping people right near the tops and getting people to sell right near the bottoms. That's just how it works. Okay, it preys on other people's emotions very, very well. So if I were to look at this area and I'd say, okay, well, the range hasn't broken out, but guess what's happening right here? More and more people are becoming impatient in this area. They're looking at this and saying, oh, this looks great. Let's just say you didn't have this range drawn. And you look at this and you say, oh, yeah, this looks really great. I think I'm going to long this from here and start targeting new highs. Well, guess what? You haven't escaped out of the range. You haven't even had a daily close outside of the range. But this is the range high right here, 34,900 or 35,000 flat. The range low is around $30,300. So ideally, it's also possible that if you don't break out of the range high and you get sent down hard, you go back to the range low. That's a $4,000 or $5,000 drop. That's a 10-15% drop from where we are, right? So that would also be a hard flush. And even there, I would say as long as we hold 30,000, that's a pretty solid risk to reward trade to the upside. Okay. So at present moment, I'm not interested in longs. I'm not in a long. But if we start getting above 35,000, or we start having a flush right near 32K, I'm interested. Okay. I will say also that over the last several months, I have not touched a single long position. Actually, from back here, from beginning or middle of October, I had not touched a single short position. My bad. And the reason is because the market is trending so aggressively hard, right? The only thing that I'd taken was a hedge in my $5,000 account, and that was to protect my capital just in case Bitcoin and ETH just start to tank. Now, most people, the mistake that they make in bull markets is that they become a little bit too confident and cocky in the direction of the market. And they don't realize that you have to still obey the principles of protecting your capital. Okay, and that means that it's okay to take out hedges. If you feel like taking out shorts, okay, that's fine, but be reasonable, right? So my hedge was just a 1x of my entire account. All right. And, you know, obviously prices pushed up in ETH and Bitcoin, but that's a chance that you take with a hedge. Point is, you could be wrong. That's why it's a hedge. Okay. It's not a definite trade that you're 100% confident about. There's no such trade like that. But the point is, the hedges help you protect yourself. It may not, work out so well this time, but at some point, when you do get a little too cocky in the direction of the market, that's when it helps. And it happens to all of us. I know I get a little too cocky when the market is going down or up, right? It's just how it is. It's human nature. But see, to protect yourself from your own human nature and your own emotions is to understand the principles of the market of how people go about protecting their capital. And that is either taking on hedges, taking profit off the table, reducing your positions, whatever you need to do to reduce your FOMO in the market. That's what you got to do. Okay. And these are the toughest things to do because the dollar signs start popping up in your head and you think, wait a second, if I just held on to this position and markets went up, well, I can make X amount of money. And if I just doubled my size, I can make even more money. Right? See, that's the worst way to trap yourself into a very detrimental cycle in the market. Is you start thinking in the future of how much more money you could make, and then you start losing money, and then you start losing more trades, and then you start falling into this vicious cycle of, well, at one point, I had X amount of money, and now I'm down, X amount, right? Well, that is not something that you need to think of. Every single day that you enter the market with whatever capital that you have, that is your day one. Forget about the high of the capital that you had a week ago or a month ago or a year ago. That's gone. What you have today is your equity value starting right now. And so if you have that money in your account, you have to make the best decision available at present moment in terms of trades, in terms of risk management for your today. Okay. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Bitcoin. We can look at pivots real quick. So here's a daily pivot. We're cracking right through it. This is the new monthly pivot. All right. And then this is the new weekly pivot, which we've nicely bounced up from. This is a really good sign in my opinion. But once again, right, we're struggling around this $35,000 area. Hopefully we get past it. But if not, who knows? Maybe we get a retest like right here at this pivot, which is around 33,500. And if you're a pivot trader like I am, that's also a possible trade. But once again, the best trade in my opinion is probably going to be around this area. Okay, so I'll wait patiently enough. Hopefully I get that. If not, we'll see. If, who knows? Sometimes you do have to kind of play catch up with the trade. On the 15-minute time frame, we have these pivots right here, currently bouncing off the R1. Hopefully we hold up above this area because breaking below this area then, once again, from the pivot standpoint, opens up doors back towards the previous pivot, which is 33,500. Okay. Let me see here. And we also have the February monthly open around 33,000 flat. As long as we stay above those, right, monthly and weekly opens, I'm generally bullish on the market, or rather bullish in the local trend. And so this is a good sign. So hopefully we don't break below this area. We'll see what the rest of the week holds. It's only a Tuesday. Anything can happen by the end of the week, but I'm definitely looking forward to the week ahead. It should be, lots of volatility up and down. That's what I'm at least keeping in mind. So some of the other trades that I have on my mind, sushi has done incredibly well, right? Well, I mentioned sushi to our Advantage members somewhere around $9. It's put in a nice 30-40% movement to the upside. The other trade that I've got my eye on is LTC. All right. So I took a scalp on LTC around 132, aiming for 150 and then 160. Pretty close to our target. We're currently at 143, up a good 4 or 5% in this trade. And this is a scalp trade, so I'm not too worried about this because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm looking for Bitcoin to show me that it is ready for the broad, movement in the market. Until it shows me that, I'm just gonna size down my positions. If I have to scalp, I'll scalp. If I have to keep hedges on the side, I'll do that. Or if I have to stay out of the market, I'll do that. The name of the game in markets when they're really choppy like this is always patience. If you let your foot off the pedal and you start becoming a little bit more confident direction when the market is already choppy, chances are you're going to lose more and more money. Chop is designed to steal money away from you. That's just how it works. Okay. Let's check out ETH. Man, I swear ETH looks incredibly, incredibly good and strong, but I still refuse to kind of, find evidence, not refuse, but rather I'm finding it hard to find evidence where ETH has actually started to move up in the market before Bitcoin, starts breaking out of its own resistance levels. And if it does, like for example, okay, here was the day when ETH hit a new high right here several days ago, right? This is on 25th January. On 25th January, ETH hit a high of 1477. At the same time, okay, this is where Bitcoin was. All right. Here was Bitcoin, and then it started to roll over. It was still pinned inside this range. So even as people got a little bit too confident about ETH hitting new highs, well, Bitcoin did not give us that signal. In fact, Bitcoin, started to come down back towards 30,000 again. And at the same time, then ETH started to come down again. So I kind of go back to the same point, which is unless Bitcoin starts to press out, it's hard for me to see a world where ETH starts to, break out first. If it does, maybe it's for a day, maybe 2 days at most, but after that, it'll once again follow BTC. Okay, but once again, this does not apply to coins like Sushi or Uni, or sometimes even Wi-Fi. These coins get to move on their own, and that's actually fantastic because if you're able to find movements like that in the market, or even Aave sometimes, Aave or SNX, some of these DeFi blue chips that I have, these sometimes just do completely, different movements from the broad market movement of Bitcoin and ETH. And if you're able to catch on that train early, you're going to make a crap ton of money. So I have this DeFi blue chips as a watch list on the side. I generally pay attention to this, first thing when I start trading in the mornings. Make sure you guys make this playlist, not playlist, but a watch list for yourself so you can watch things very easily like this. Okay. Let me see here. Check out Link. All right. So Link also very choppy around here. I don't know what it's going to do, but chances are it's probably going to be range bound until I believe Bitcoin and ETH figure themselves out. What else? Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi also just in a very large range bound mode between 40K, and this is probably the range low around 27, 28K. All right. So a large, $12,000 range and staying right near the range lows. Hopefully, as BTC starts pressing up, if and when it does, Wi-Fi starts pressing up too. Because I'm really surprised Wi-Fi has not been able to outperform other assets in the DeFi space. It's really perplexing to me, but it is what it is. Sometimes this happens with projects. Something that we may not know is happening to the project, and that's why the asset is lagging. SNX, one of my other favorites. All right. I have a pretty good entry in this. So I'm still up in profit, but with SNX, honestly, this is like one of my holds for 2021. I'm looking for big upside in SNX. Okay. And I'm pretty confident in holding this position. So even if it breaks down, I have enough cash that, I cut out of my profitable positions that I can buy some more SNX. All right. Let's check out Band. Whoops. Band. So here's Band once again trying to press out of this resistance right here. Okay. This is a very good sign because here's the thing. Band has already hit this level once, twice, 3 times yesterday, now trying to press its way out. Chances are pretty high that if Band is deciding to move on its own, it's going to start targeting these highs up here. Okay. That $15 marker. Not investment advice, of course, but if I was looking at this trade, the way I would trade this is, I'd take a long right there, and keep my stop, let's just say right around maybe $10 or something, right? And then put my first target right around 15. Okay. If you want a tighter stop, you can just keep it below today's, daily low. So the daily low here was $11.15. So let's just say $11 flat. That's another way you can go about it. Okay. But, I like to pay attention to Band because sometimes it really has these incredibly surprising movements and just takes off like a rocket ship. I don't know why. I don't know if there's something great going on with the project, but, something always happens with Band, and that always makes me think, okay, there's something about this project that people are bidding this up against the overall bearishness of the market, and that is worth paying attention to. Let me see here. So I read that Ren was, I think, partnering up with, what was it, FTX or Solana and Serum. And so I was wondering over the last several days, it's like, why is it that Ren kept moving up, so aggressively, and other projects were lagging behind? Well, it's probably because of this partnership, right? So Ren is another project that you may want to pay attention to. Okay, I think it's undervalued, especially if it's working with Solana and Serum. Okay, like even Solana, I mean, I read the other day that Solana does 54,000 transactions, I think per minute, if I'm not mistaken. And Visa at the same time does 42 or 44, right? So Solana's as a project is already kicking ass, and I mean, doing incredibly well. So I really like Solana. Anything associated with FTX and FTT as a protocol, I'm always attracted to these projects. So I've also got my eye on Solana. All right. Um, let's see. Let's talk about. Let's see. Yeah, futures look good. Okay, they bounced up really nicely even yesterday, and now today they look good. So good sign nonetheless. The one thing I will say though, what I am concerned about is something like this, right? We're kind of crashing into this line right here. Hopefully we recover it. If we don't recover it and we start breaking down from here, that may not be a good sign. So hopefully let's not bank on that. But as long as we stay on this upward trend and trajectory, um, I still believe that there's a lot of bullishness left in the 2021 market. I do, however, believe that there's a little bit too much froth in the market, and maybe that needs to be weeded out by, I don't know, 2, 3 days or maybe a week of heavy selling, like a 10, 20% quick drop. And that will just scare the pants off everybody. And in my opinion, that would be the best time that I would consider, doubling down on my positions. I haven't seen that yet. Like I haven't seen that in crypto, and I definitely sure as hell have not seen that in the stock market, right? But it would be fantastic if and when that does happen, because I think a lot of people will get scared out of their positions, and when they do, I would find it incredibly beneficial to buy that fear. Okay, of course, buying the fear sometimes means that you're basically catching a falling knife, and it could completely go against you. But in market conditions like this, where I've stated that if you have a checklist for 2021, these are the things that you want to pay attention to. All these check off for me. Nothing in this has changed. So if nothing in this has changed, I'm still bullish going to 2021. But that doesn't mean that we can't have, you know, 10, 20, 30% fast sell-offs in the market. All right. Anyway, make sure y'all follow me on Twitter. Hit the thumbs up. Once again, join our Advantage membership. All right. It's incredibly beneficial for those who have stuck around with our membership. Some people have stayed around for a couple of years now, and I think they find it incredibly helpful and beneficial. We also have these indicators that we came up with. Our member Harry, he made these indicators based on proprietary, movements of the markets based on Ichimoku clouds and moving averages, and they've been incredibly helpful for us to utilize time and time again. Whether you want to get into swing bull positions, meaning you want to get into a long position in the market, if you want to figure out good areas to take profits at, good areas to double down your longs, this is the indicator suite that I use. It's available on our website. This is how I essentially figure out complements for my buy and sell signals in the market. I don't use this solely as the buy and sell signal, but I use this indicator as a complement to my way of looking at the market. And more often than not, man, these indicators are on point and they're incredibly helpful. And we have one at the bottom right here. We call this the Shepherd indicator. It's an RSI divergence based indicator, helps you identify tops and bottoms in the trend. Again, very, very helpful. I've found very, very many opportunities to go long or go short or trim my positions based on these indicators. And we have an entire playlist dedicated to this of how to use these indicators. So if y'all are interested in the indicators, join our Discord. There's a free YouTube link below. Shoot us a message, and you can check out these indicators. Okay. That's all I got for y'all. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully found it, somewhat helpful to your own analysis. Until then, take care. Good luck in the markets, and hope y'all join our community. Cheers.